New NBA player props here on PrizePicks for Tuesday, February 11th. Before we get started, you guys take a look in the description below. Hop into the Discord, $9.30 per month, 31 cents per day. Currently doing a promo right now for first-time members at the Discord, 20% off your first month. If you are a first-time member, comes out to like $6 for the entire 30 days. Again, link in the description below for that using promo code TUFF. It's where I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks. Other cappers in there as well. Super positive community. Everyone in there just trying to help each other cash. But I got two player props here for today's small NBA slate. I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4 games here, but all these games 3.5 points, 5 points, 9 points, 2.5. So hopefully, I mean, all these matchups look good on paper. Hopefully, get some good ones. Another 2-0 night last night with the YouTube plays. 7-1 run, or now 9-1 run. Malik Monk and Bam Adebayo both cashed pretty easily. Malik Monk took overtime, but Bam Adebayo was super free. Yeah, so again, 9-1 run with the NBA player prop videos. Last 5 videos, we've only missed on one play. Let's not waste any time, you guys. Let's just get right into it. First one I'm looking at here is going to be Tyrese Haliburton, over 39.5 fantasy score. Again, I feel like Tyrese, he is overrated in my opinion, but I don't want to jinx this play because he does have a ton of fantasy score upside. Looking at this matchup, Knicks, Pacers at home, which is key for Tyrese Haliburton, who's just such a better player when he plays at home. If you look at this season, 19.5 points, more points, rebounds, and assists, more, I guess stocks is pretty much split, but more points, rebounds plus assists. Shoots the ball much better at home, and is actually a little bit more aggressive at home too. 14.2 field goal attempts, 3.6 free throws made. But the Knicks are a great matchup, and specifically for Tyrese Haliburton, we look at versus the Knicks, he's over in 7 of his last 12. But earlier this season, he had one of his best games of the year versus the Knicks, 62.4 fantasy points. And specifically, like I said, this season at home, Tyrese Haliburton is over in 12 of 20 games when he plays at home. If he sees 30 plus minutes, which he should see, he's over in 12 of 18, 33 plus minutes. He's over in 9 of 14, averaging 42.7 fantasy. But for me, which is key as well, when he's played the Knicks at home, over in 4 of his last 5. Obviously, some monster games last season. I think these teams met in the playoffs as well. 40.7 at 62.4, like I said earlier this season. Versus the Knicks, in that game, like I said, one of his best games of the year. 35-14, or hold on, 35 points, 2 rebounds, 14 assists, and 2 steals. And he played only 35 minutes. Like Mathurin played 41, Siakam 34, 35 minutes, and he did those type of numbers, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. I think that was actually when he was like still somewhat on a minutes restriction, I believe. But he's played really well as of late too. You can see this hit rate over his last 10, over in 7 of his last 10 home or away, averaging 38.1 fantasy. He went on this road trip. He put up 42, 43, and 42 against the Lakers, Clippers, and Utah. Had 52 here against Detroit, 48 here against the Spurs. So he has been playing well. But I just love this matchup versus the Knicks. Per 36 minutes as well, Miles Turner's questionable with Turner off the floor per 36 at home. Tyrese averages 46.9 fantasy points per 36, 1.3 fantasy points per minute, which is an increase of 6.4 fantasy points per 36 minutes, 0.2 points per minute, which, again, he's questionable. Let's just remove him. If you just look at home this season, Tyrese, 41.9 per 36, 1.2 fantasy points per minute when he plays at home. So, again, his per 36 minute averages favoring the over on this line. But I like this play here because Tyrese Haliburton scores 37 points per possession. Pick and roll ball handler play type. He scores 1.07 points per possession. And then points here, you can see Tyrese Haliburton is sitting at 6.7 points as the pick and roll ball handler, which is up there. I mean, you can see the players here. All these guys, I would say, are score first guards. More Tyrese is a pass first, but he still scores 6.7 points per possession as the pick and roll ball handler. And the Knicks rank dead last in points per points to the pick and roll ball handler. You can see your pick and roll play type defensive, 20.5 points per game to the pick and roll ball handler, which is ranks 5th most points per possession and the most frequency. So I don't know if it's Jalen Brunson can't get around screens. I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns plays drop coverage, but you can see your guards fantasy points game log. This is just since the new year. We've seen point guards, elite point guards, Trae Young, Cade, Malik Monk, D'Angelo Russell, Jamal Murray, Tyrese Maxey, Anthony Edwards, all go pretty crazy. This is the fantasy score lines against the Knicks, and I like the hit rate for Tyrese. Obviously, he had one of his best games of the year at home versus the Knicks already. Also, OG Anunoby probably not playing in this one, which hurts the Knicks defensively. And then Miles Turner, if he doesn't play, I think gives Tyrese that much more upside. So Tyrese Haliburton, 39.5 is the first play. Second play I'm looking at here is going to be John Morant. I like his over 38 fantasy score. Again, another elite point guard. Too low of a line in my opinion. We look at Ja. He's been much better on the road. You can see here on the road this season when he plays 30 plus minutes, he's over this line in 7 of 8 games this season on the road. And you can even see when you look at his splits, 22.7 points, more rebounds, more points, more rebounds, significantly more points, by the way. Definitely more aggressive, 17 field goal attempts compared to 14.9 at home. And if we look at kind of how the Suns match up, right? The Suns are an elite matchup for point guards. They allow the 5th most points, 5th most rebounds, 10th most or 15th most assists. So you can see the matchups to the point guard position. Again, this is an outlier, by the way. Link in the description below. You get a 7-day free trial. I'm going to refresh this just to see if we can. The fantasy score lines weren't up on outlier yet, but they should possibly be now. Yeah, fantasy score lines 2024. Okay, so he's over in 16 of 31 games, but away, he's over 9 of 13, which is why I love this spot. 9 of 13 away games. I mean, minutes or no minutes, 9 of 13 is an elite hit rate, 69% on the year for John Morant. Memphis this season on the road, John Morant is averaging 42.5 fantasy points per 36 minutes, 1.2 fantasy points per minute on the road this year. And then, like I said, the Suns are just an elite matchup. The Suns can't guard anyone, or they can't really guard point guards at all, or guards in general. This is the fantasy score game log for guards versus the Suns logging 30 plus minutes, and you can see these type of games. Some of these guards have had them. Again, this is just from like the middle of January till now. Christian Braun, Norman Powell, Jamal Murray 48, James Harden 49, Trae Young 57, LaMelo Ball 57, Jordan Poole 58. SGA had 75.1. Ja obviously can do things similar. As far as just getting in the paint, pretty much getting any shot he wants. I love this spot here for John Morant. I'm not overthinking this one. So 2 player props for this YouTube video. 2, I guess, non-all-star point guards, but 2 star point guards here in spots below under fantasy scores with close matchups. Again, 2-0 yesterday. Please drop a like, you guys. Check out all the links in the description below. And as always, let's cash.